Hey everyone, it's Melody Lane here, and in this video, we're gonna go over the new knife blade. Yes, the knife blade is in. There is a link in the description. If you purchase it through that link, I do get a small commission. I don't get paid for these videos, so that commission really helps me out. And in this video, we're gonna go over unboxing the knife blade, calibrating the knife blade, changing the blade, cutting with the knife blade, and cleaning your mat. Now that's a lot to go over in one video, and I know later on when it's time to change your blade, you're gonna wanna watch that part just on changing your blade. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all of this in this video, and then in the description below, you'll be able to find the links to only those topics, to just unboxing it. You wanna watch this video to make sure it'll work with the machine you have, and it only works with computers. So we'll go over more of that in this video. Up in the cards, if you click that little eye, you'll have a link to each of those videos also. And in the description below, I will also have a link to each of those videos in my Cricut Design Space Facebook group, Cricut Design Space with Melody Lane. And I'll put a link to my Patreon post where I'll also have all of the knife blade information. Keep watching.
You are watching Melody Lane. With me, you're gonna have a great crafting time.
Okay, here is the knife blade. Okay, now let me break in here and let you know this knife blade comes separately. So you get the housing or the replacement blade. They will be sold separately, not in one package like I got. The reason for this change is so you can get it at a more affordable price. Here, I'll show it up close. Remember, these will be a separate purchase. The knife blade housing and the replacement blade. It comes with an extra blade and it comes with a changing cap. It also has a clear cap inside here. This only fits on the Cricut Maker machines. It will not fit on the Cricut Explore machines. The Cricut Explore machines are not strong enough to withstand the pressure it needs for the knife blade. The Explore machines just don't have the technology needed for the adaptive tool system that the Cricut Maker has. And here's the back. These are premium carbide blades. It cuts up to 3/32 of an inch of balsa wood, 2mm leather, 2mm Cricut chipboard, and more. Used with the Cricut Maker machines only. Requires a computer with design space. For additional information, visit help.cricut.com/knifeblade. And if you have any questions, please ask them in the comments of this video, and I answer all of the questions asked. Notice this says for computers with design space. If you have a maker but you don't have a computer, you can't use the knife blade. The reason for that is the knife blade is really smart. It uses many passes. Some passes have more pressure than the others. Some passes may be slower than the others, but depending on the material you need, depends on how many passes. It can go up to 20 passes. And if it's really intricate project, it's gonna take a lot of time. That will use up your phone the entire time. Now I'm talking 2 to 3 hours for some projects. Now for simpler projects, it won't take that long, but you don't want your phone to be used for that long just on this. All right, are we ready to open this baby up? Okay. It has perforated lines back here, so you can open that up without ripping it open. That's what I usually do, is just rip it open. Okay. Oh, look at that. I open that. Nope. There we go. Okay, now inside, there's important instructions for changing the knife blade. Keep these instructions. You might want to keep this with the extra blades in the compartment in the maker, like right inside here with your extra blades. So it explains right here how to change the blade, and I'll do it in video so you'll know how to do it, but it's always good to have these instructions for later. Okay, now let's take these things out. This is the extra knife blade. And the knife blade lasts depending on what you're cutting. If you're cutting leather, it'll last longer than if you're cutting chipboard or wood. Chipboard and wood would dull the blade faster than leather. This is the changing cap. You need this to change the blade. This does come with the extra blades, so when you buy extra blades, you'll get another one. And here is the blade everyone's been waiting for. This is so exciting. So it has this, just like the rotary blade does. And it has this cap. So when you're not using it, you really want to put this cap on. Don't lose this cap. The cap just pulls off and goes back on. And there's the knife blade. Don't drop this. This can chip, so you don't want any chips in your knife blade or you won't get good cuts. Okay, now let's calibrate our machine. Okay, when you're using a mat that's never been used before, it's kind of sticky. Even the blue mat is the light grip mat. To calibrate, we're gonna be using just plain copy paper, and this is gonna really stick to the mat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna condition it by putting my hands on it. Kind of takes off a little bit of the stickiness. You can also put it on your t-shirt or put a t-shirt over it, just so it's not so sticky, so the paper will come off much easier. I wouldn't suggest letting your dog lay on it. Okay, we're gonna put the paper down here. Now we're gonna change the blade in the machine. So we're gonna take out our regular blade and we're gonna put this one in so the plastic piece is on the outside and these gears will work with those gears. Once we calibrate our machine, we never have to calibrate our machine again unless we buy a new housing for the knife blade. We can keep changing the blades. It's the housing that we're calibrating to this machine. Okay, now to start calibration, we need to go up here to the left-hand corner of our design space on the computer, click the three little lines, go down to calibration, and now we need to calibrate our knife blade. We never had to do this with the rotary blade because it was done at the factory. But now that we're getting the knife blade, we have to calibrate the knife blade. And don't worry, this is so easy. Okay, we've already done this. We inserted the knife blade into clamp B. We placed our paper on the top left corner of the mat. Then click continue. Load the paper. My light is blinking on the mat. So we're gonna load our mat in. Make sure it's underneath the little markers there. We're gonna push in. I am just holding this in, pushing that in just slightly while I hit the button. Now the go button is blinking, so we're gonna press that. It's gonna cut 7 lines of 2 lines each. So there's gonna be 14 cuts. And then we're gonna choose the best cut. Okay, it's done. Time to unload the mat. Now on the computer, it says cut calibration sheet. After you unload your mat, count down the top and select the group of lines that overlap the most. And then you select them here. So starting at the top would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now what we're looking for is there actually are 2 lines here and we want to see which one looks like one solid line. And I'm going to take this off the mat. I'm going to flip the mat over and take the mat off the cut. That's the easiest way to get it off. Okay, we're done with that mat. To me, it looks like, if you see that one, it does not look like it's one solid line. See the little cut line there that made a boo-boo? That one's pretty good. Looks like this one's actually the best. Let's look at them all. That one, this one might be the best. That one's pretty good. Wow, these are pretty good. I think I'm gonna choose this one. So I'm gonna count down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's number 5. And to see, you can really see them better if you push down and see how the cuts are. Wow, I'm amazed this many are that good. I'm gonna say number 5. I think that's the best. So I'm gonna go to the computer and choose number 5. And here's some examples. They show you a good overlap and a bad overlap. Mine weren't as bad as the bad one. Let's hit continue. To ensure that you get the best performance with the longest life of your knife blade, click the link below. And then when you click this, this will take you to the Help Center on Cricut and give you all the information you need. And we're gonna click close. And that's it. Our knife blade is calibrated. Woohoo! It was easy. Anybody can do that. Okay, now we're gonna change the knife blade. I've never changed the knife blade, so this will be fun. Thank you, Cricut, for showing me how to change the knife blade so I can show you guys. I can show my subscribers. First thing we do is put this cap on. So we're putting the white cap on. We're gonna hold the gold and the plastic piece and the silver piece, and we're gonna hold that still. You don't have to like hold it really hard. You just have to hold it. And then we're gonna turn. You have to push down on this part. See, there's grips. Push down on that so you're holding this and we're unscrewing this. The knife blade will still be inside. We're gonna unscrew it until it comes off. So now that piece of the knife blade is inside. Okay, do not throw this away. We have to use this and put this piece back on. If you lose this piece inside, you're gonna need another whole housing. We can grab the knife and just pull it out. There's nothing really holding it in because that silver piece in here was holding it in. Okay, so let's open the new one. We're gonna pull that out. So this is protecting it because it's sharp. Now, if you ever lose the clear cap to this, maybe save this just in case. This still could cut yourself if you push down on it, but it would be safer than nothing. Okay, so now we're gonna put this blade inside this. You see this white piece? Can you see that? It has a white piece sticking out. It's only on one side where that white piece is sticking out. If you can't see it in the video, when you get it, you'll see it. And then there's a little notch there, a bigger notch on that one side. There's two going across here and then a bigger one over here. So we're gonna kind of just drop that in there like that. Okay, so now if you flip this over, it might fall back out. Don't do that. You have to put the thing back on. Make sure you put this back on. And we're just gonna put this on and start screwing it on. Now when it feels a little tight, we're gonna hold this and hold this again and squeeze this a little and get it as tight as we can, okay, till it doesn't go any further. And then we can pull this off. And that's how you change the blade. It's pretty simple. If you're a child, make sure you have an adult help you with this. That was easy. Now let's have some fun and cut with the knife blade. Before starting to cut with a knife blade, make sure you turn the screensaver off and make it so the display does not turn off while cutting, or your computer go to sleep. It will interrupt the cut and you'll have a problem. I'm on a Mac, so I only know how to do it on a Mac. Click Energy Saver, and then I'm gonna move Turn Display Off after, move it to Never, and prevent computer from sleeping automatically when display is off, and put hard disk to sleep when possible. I'm gonna uncheck that for this. I think I'm gonna uncheck that. But this way I know it's displayed turned off, and I'm gonna prevent it from sleeping. And that's all you have to do. So I have mat board on my strong holding purple mat. You want the strong holding mat, and I have some extra tape. You can use painter's tape or masking tape. I'm using the purple tape I get from ThermoWeb. It's pretty awesome. Now I'm ready. As you can see, I did a little test cut. I did the test cut without any tape, and it did not seem that I needed the tape, but that was a simple cut. I wanted to try it without the tape. It worked great without the tape, but Cricut instructs you to use the tape. So the next project I'm cutting is more intricate. I'm gonna do a butterfly. So when I do the butterfly, I don't want anything to slip off the mat. If this slips off the mat, then it's gonna mess up. The heart I didn't care about. It was just a heart for testing, and I really love the heart. Like, I can use this for embellishments and stuff. It's nice and thick. This is mat board I got from Michael's, and it comes in different colors. Okay, so I chose my material. I chose mat board. It was under art boards. Let me click on this so I can show you again. So I went to browse all material. Right under art board, I chose mat board. Click done, and it doesn't give you the option. It knows exactly how to cut it. And click the load as I push it in. Notice it says, please move the star wheels to the right of the machine to ensure the material is no more than 11 inches wide. Notice I have the star wheels moved all the way to the right. And now we're gonna hit go. It's detecting the blade. I'm using this Stronghold 12 by 24 mat. If you follow me and get the mystery boxes, this was in one of the mystery boxes. Isn't that so cool? Now this is going to take a while to cut. And once it gets done with one pass of the cutting, it will be able to tell us how long it's going to take to cut. Okay, now it's done one pass. Now it's cutting 2 of 8 passes. So it tells me it's going to go through this 8 times, and I have 34 minutes remaining. So now I could go do something else for 34 minutes if I wanted to. Okay, we're on pass 3. I think this is the end of 3. It goes around the whole thing. Now they say for the inner cuts not to be smaller than 3/4 of an inch, but I'm testing this for you. I contoured the butterfly to take out a bunch of the smaller pieces, but then I thought, well, I'll put a few back in, and we're just gonna test this to see how it turns out. So now it's starting past 4 of 8, and it says there's 25 minutes left. Now each pass with the knife blade is not always the same amount of pressure. Sometimes it gives you more pressure or less pressure depending on the material you're cutting. Sometimes a pass might be slower or faster than the other. It says it's 39% done. Okay, it's 50% done. Okay, now we're on pass 7 of 8. It's 76% done and 10 minutes remaining. Now, if you look here, I noticed that, I think that part comes out anyway, but that was a little part on the butterfly that I wanted to contour out, and I thought I did. Looking at it, I didn't. It's such a tiny little place, so I'm curious to see how that actually cuts out. Okay, it's on its last pass. 8 of 8 passes. It's 88% done in only 5 minutes. Now, as you can see on the computer, it says check your cut. Without removing the mat, ensure your cut went all the way through the material. If it looks good, unload your mat. If not, hit the go button again for just one more pass. And notice, I don't know if I mentioned this before, these I moved all the way over to the right. These are spread out throughout this bar, but you need to move them. You just pull them and slide them over. They just move. So you don't want it to indent this. And this looks like it. It cut all the way through with those 8 passes. So let's go ahead, unload the mat. Awesome. It says it will not cut anything smaller than 3/4 of an inch. These are all smaller. So we're gonna remove the tape. Well, it says it won't cut it very well. So we'll see if these cut well or not. Or you can reuse this purple tape, but this one must cut. Okay. I just thought of something. This tape made me think of it. Wouldn't that be cool if we covered this with washi tape first and then cut it out? Oh man, now I want to try it. Okay, this looks good. I really did not need to use the big mat, but my piece was that big, so I just used it. And I'm just gonna use some Cricut tweezers to pull this up. Okay, set that to the side. Okay, it looks like it all cut. These did cut. I did just rip that, pulling that out. Maybe I'll use my tweezers. And like they said, you get a cleaner cut when the cuts are bigger than 3/4 of an inch. But oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that tiny little cut. See that cut? This is amazing. I love this. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. I love it. And I could spray this with my glitter paint. I have spray glitter paint. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Oh, so excited. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I could color this side of it. So the mat board at Michael's, this is where I got this, is color on one side and white on the other, unless you buy the white. It does not say how thick the mat board is at Michael's, but I will put a link to it down below. I got it in the framing area. Now I wish I would have left that there. I really didn't think that was gonna cut very well. But they all did. I could have left all of them in here. It would have taken a little longer, but I love it. It is so cool. Love it. Isn't that fun? So fun. Can you see how thick that is? There. The possibilities are endless. Okay, now let's go over cleaning the mat. I don't know if you can see. This was only cutting one time, so it's not that big of a deal. But they say when you're cutting wood, it's even more than this. This has just little fibers. Well, actually, I'm not even gonna worry about those. I will just use this mat for my knife blade using wood and things. Now, when you're cutting wood, it is cutting wood. So you have sawdust. Should we call it knife blade dust? It's not really sawdust. So like where all the cuts are, you might have actual dust when you're cutting wood. So they say use it a few times, maybe 3 or 4 times, and then you're gonna have to wash your mat. Do not scrape the sawdust off the mat, because what that does is it just blends that dust in with the rest of the adhesive on the mat, and your mat will not last as long. So when you have a lot of dust in the cuts, what you do is you take it to the sink and you use up to lukewarm water, not too warm of water, just lukewarm water or cool water, and use just a little bit of a scrubby. When I clean my mats, I just use my fingers and it cleans them great. So I would just start with your fingers just to clean it off. Just pick the big pieces up. And like I said, I'm not gonna worry about the little fine pieces. These little fine pieces, they're not gonna bother anything. Maybe unless I was trying to cut paper. But I'm gonna save this mat for mat board or wood. So it's gonna be fine. So that's it, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Comment below if you have the maker or if you've been waiting to buy the maker for the knife blade. I know some people haven't bought the maker because they're just waiting for the knife blade. Now's the time. Don't forget to use the link in the description. My coupon code does not work for the knife blade. I think I need to cut more butterflies. All right, guys, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Go shopping, have fun, and I cannot wait to see what you guys make with it. Please post projects you make in my Facebook group, Cricut Design Space with Melody Lane. All right, guys, bye. See you in the next video. Before you go, here's a shout out to just a few of the people who support this channel on Patreon. Rebecca, Ashley, Sherry, Courtney, Susan, Mary, Emma, Wanda, Christina, Eileen, Patricia, Michelle, Lisa, Shanna, Cindy, Susan, Christy, Kat, Helen, Peggy, Heather, Lydia, Keisha, Afia, Kelly, Adara, Kathy, Gloria, Deborah, Donna, Beth Ann, Sonia, Bobby Fort, Joyce, Connie, Jody, Susan, Melissa, Jane, Rachanda, Tina Turner, Kim, Erica, Kathy, Jack, Beth, Claudette, Samantha, Jacqueline, Susan, Patricia, Christine, Chris, Jacqueline, Gina, Marie, Mary Jane, Jacqueline, Teresa, Monica, Lena, Sue, Lori, Tammy, Huntress Habits, Dorina, Lori, Laura, Leilana, Dawn, Kathy, Carol, Trish, Rose, Tammy, Debbie, Saya, Dextra, Ron, Signs of Awesome. Thanks, guys, so much. I really appreciate all of you.